Recently at Joe's Pub in Manhattan took place a concert titled Armenians in Jazz, organized by AGBU's Arts Department. The sold-out concert featured 6 musicians, among them Lucy Yeghiazaryan, Armenian-American vocalist who had become a leading voice in American straight-ahead jazz. By bringing the real richness of her heritage together with her love for ultimate American art form. She was a top 10 finalist in the 2015 Thelonious Monk competition and holds a degree in world history, in addition to being a skilled classical violinist. Her third album, Lonely House, will be released in late 2022. In her performance for the evening, Lucy included several pieces by the Armenian composers. Eric Zolan graduated from William Patterson University, where he studied with many renowned teachers. Upon graduation, Eric moved to New York City and has worked with many gifted musicians. He is the guitarist and arranger for the Armenian ensemble Harib. Michael Sarian performed on some of the world's most iconic stages, including the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., Teatro Colón in Argentina, and some of New York City's most beloved venues, such as Blue Note Jazz Club and Jazz in Lincoln Center. He has appeared on WNYC's Soundcheck with John Schiffer, NPR World Cafe, and many more. In 2020, Michael was semi-finalist in a prestigious DC Jazz Picks competition. His second quartet album is set to be released in 2022. Yeghiazaryan is an Armenian-born pianist who started her music career at a very young age, studying piano when she was only 5 years old. She has won high-profile international competitions and awards, including the Getsko Jazz Award and the Keep an Eye International Jazz Award. In 2018, she was selected as one of the semi-finalists on the prestigious Thelonious Monk competition. Leah actively performs in the United States and across Europe. Noah Karapetyan holds a BA in ethnomusicology from the University of California, Los Angeles, and Masters of Music Performance from New York University. He has won many awards and grants, including Kalus Gulbenkian in View Grant in 2022, Fellow for Creative Armenia AGBU in 2021, and Fulbright Specialist in 2016. As an educator, Noah has worked with jazz at Lincoln Center, Jazz for Young People program, the Stanford Jazz Workshop, NYU, and the New School. And Nathan Ellman-Bell, an acclaimed drummer, producer, and composer living in New York City. Graduate of the Peabody Conservatory, Nathan has been featured on many studio albums and performed at notable New York City venues such as Highline Ballroom, Blue Note, Brooklyn Ball, Birdland, Joe's Pub, Smalls, and many more. Nathan is also fresh off an 11-week tour through Europe, where his band opened for Tool and played many headline shows and festivals. Armenian culture is as deep as its ancient roots, as rich as its mastery of diverse art forms, and as inventive and ingenious as its people. For this reason, AGBU Art has become a driving force for developing and showcasing Armenian artists and performers while treating audiences to the experiences that reveal the transcendent human spirit in the Armenian context.
And it is symbolic that 10-year anniversary is coming with another jazz concert, because 10 years ago we hosted a jazz concert at Le Poisson Rouge, LPR downtown in New York, and that was a wonderful concert. And in fact, 3 of our tonight's performers were present and were performing at that concert. So it's wonderful to come back after a dormant 2.5 years with a positive, beautiful event like this, with lots of hope, with positive energy towards the future, towards the bright future, with bright music, with creativity, with arts, with love in our minds and in our hearts.
From enthusiastic ovations, it was clear that the audiences loved the concert and appreciated both the artistry and high professionalism of all the performers.
It's performances like this that really bring the beauty of our culture and everything we have to offer, especially with all the young artists, to the non-Armenian world, and I love the emphasis on that tonight. So I'm so proud of AGBU. I thank all the artists for giving their talent, and I love that it was sold out with so many interesting people in the audience.
And wonderful venues for arts in New York City, and to have an Armenian jazz group here. I think I've waited 37 years to listen to a group like this. So, Abris, thank you.
It was a beautiful performance, just breathtaking. I am in awe of this beautiful Lucine. She is wonderful. The whole band was wonderful. Thank you so much, AGBU, for this wonderful event. Keep it coming.
The evening was also meaningful for Armenian and non-Armenian musicians alike, who enjoyed playing on such iconic stage for mostly Armenian audiences.
Well, first of all, it's just beautiful to share music, you know, and with people, with a full crowd like Joe's Pub. But especially when it's Armenian music for an Armenian audience, I always try and include Armenian music in my sets. And, you know, I try to just include those names and share those names with the world. But to have it for people who actually know the names and have a deeper appreciation for it is really, really special for me.
I think it's beautiful to see so many Armenians in one room together celebrating our culture, but also it's important for us to celebrate our culture in America with Americans and, you know, have other people learn about it. I've played with these musicians several times before, and I've studied Armenian music a little bit, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a pleasure for me to learn more about the music.
Այս համերգի առանձնահատկությունը իմ համար այն է, որ Հայաստանը ու հայ ազգի մշակույթը մի բան չի, որ it's not a museum piece. It's not stagnant. It's a living, breathing art form. Ու ինքը ապրող է ու ապրում է այսօրվա դրությամբ եւ Նյու Յորքում եւ Հայաստանում եւ շատ ուրախ եմ, որ կարանք ներկայացնենք համ հայ հանդիսատեսին, համ էլ ամերիկացի հանդիսատեսին, ովքեր հավասարաչափ հավանում են երաժշտությունը ու բոլորին սրտին մոտիկ է հայկական երաժշտությունը, ու ինձ թվում է this is the way that we infiltrate the community outside of our community. A lot of people ask me where I find my Armenian repertoire. Ճիշտ է, որ a lot of it is a repertoire that I knew as a kid because my mother sang it to me. I heard other people singing it. But there's also a lot of research involved, and I think a lot of people don't want to do their homework in a lot of ways when they get into Armenian music. But for example, Artur Ispiryan is a good friend of mine, and he turned me on to the Armenian Radio Archives, which I highly recommend. They have an app, and you can hear from the 30s up until the 2000s, anything you want from any era that was recorded in Armenia. So I found a lot of the newer pieces through there. But որոշ բաներ ցանկումս վաղուց եմ արդեն երգում, օրինակ Հայրիկ Մուրադյանը իմ ամենասիրելի երգիչներից մեկն է, իր համարյա ամբողջ ռեպերտուարը անգիր գիտեմ, because I just love it. So, and then in terms of presenting it to an American audience, I think you have to find the similarities. You have to see the similarity in our American culture and see where Armenian culture can fit into their culture as well. And even if I'm not doing an Armenian show, during my jazz shows, I'll throw in one Armenian. And that is the one tune that brings tears to everyone's eyes, as opposed to the jazz songs, which they understand. But you really don't need to understand the lyric necessarily to understand the music. So again, I think this is very much marketable to an American audience because it's just simply beautiful music.
Central to AGBU Art's mission is introducing Armenian culture and traditions to the audiences worldwide.